students, today I am going to explain the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs. Like you all know, a sentence must have a verb. A sentence must contain a subject and a verb. Now, how are you going to understand whether the verb is transitive or intransitive? Let us look at an example. John kicked the football. Over here in this particular sentence, John is the subject, kicked is the verb, and the football is the object. Now, what is the subject? The subject is the person, animal, or thing about which or about whom something is being said. That is the subject. So over here in this particular sentence, John is the subject and John is the doer of an action. John has performed a particular action. And what is his action? John has kicked something. John has kicked a football. So the object is the football. Now what is object? Object is the receiver of an action. John has performed an action and the football has received John's action. Hence, the football is the object. Now, kicked is a verb and it's also called an action verb. Now, can you tell me whether the verb kicked is a transitive or intransitive verb? Yes, you guessed it right. Kicked is a transitive verb. Do you know why? Can you tell me, can you give me the reason why kicked is a transitive verb? What is the meaning of the term transitive? Transitive means passing over or getting transferred. So over here you can see John has performed an action and his action has passed over to another object, that is the football. So John has performed an action and his action has passed over or it has got transferred to an object, that is the football. Hence, kicked is a transitive verb. So transitive verbs always take objects. Transitive verbs are verbs which take objects. A transitive verb can take more than one object. Such transitive verbs are known as ditransitive verbs. There might be one direct object and another indirect object. So what are transitive verbs? Transitive verbs are verbs that take objects. The word transitive means passing over. The subject or the doer of the action, also called the agent, performs an action and that action gets transferred or passed over to another object or to another person. That is known as a transitive verb. Now coming to intransitive verb. What is an intransitive verb? Intransitive verbs never take objects. Intransitive verbs never take objects. Let us look at an example. Birds fly. So you can see over here there is a subject birds and there is a verb, but there is no object. So the action fly is an action. So this particular action doesn't get passed over or doesn't get transferred to an object. Hence there is no object. The action is not passed over. It doesn't get transferred to something else or someone or something else. Hence fly over here is an intransitive verb. There is no object. Birds fly, full stop. There is one subject, one verb, and the sentence is complete. It is a meaningful, complete sentence. So object is not required over here. Birds fly. So let us quickly recap. What is the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs? The very basic difference is transitive verbs take objects, intransitive verbs do not take objects. That is the main difference between transitive and intransitive verbs. Most of the transitive verbs take a single object, but there are some transitive verbs which take more than one object. The verbs such as give, tell, promise, offer, etc. take more than one object. Now, let us frame a sentence with the verb give. Let us look at this particular sentence, and this sentence has the verb give. Ria gave me a pen. So, in this particular sentence, gave is the transitive verb, and there are two objects. What are those two objects? The two objects in this particular sentence are me and a pen. So Ria gave me a pen. So there are two objects in this particular sentence. Gave is a transitive verb and it is called a ditransitive verb. Now why the term ditransitive verb? Because it takes two objects. So gave over here is a ditransitive verb. It has two objects. One of the two objects is a direct object and the other is an indirect object. Now, how are you going to understand or identify which one is the direct object and which one is the indirect object? There's a very simple trick. First, let me tell you how you're going to identify the direct object. You have to ask the question what after the verb. Ria gave me what? Ria gave me what? The answer is a pen. So here a pen is the direct object. Ria gave me what? A pen. So a pen is the direct object. It answers the question what? Gave what? A pen. Now how are you going to identify the indirect object? You have to ask the question after the verb. Ria gave a pen to whom? Ria gave a pen to whom? To me. Yes, so me is the indirect object. So you have to ask the question to whom or for whom. The answer that you will get is the indirect object. So this is a very simple trick to identify a direct object and an indirect object in a particular sentence. So Ria gave me a pen. Me is the indirect object and a pen is the direct object. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll be back with more interesting grammar topics. Have a wonderful day.